Welcome to Nevermind The Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind The Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Wham! Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you by, and all my books are about a generous subscription sponsorship from indcd.org, yes, indcd.org, the Independent Creator Directory, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, writers, editors, musicians. Look, if you're trying to make a project happen and you need support, this is where you go to find the best in the business. If you are looking for independent creators and you don't want to mess around with the hassle and the shenaniganry and the scams of all the other places, well, hang on in there. And friends, if you're looking for a place to host you, a spot where you can call home online without fear of one of these billionaire types deciding that they really need to close this down and get back into the business trying to get off this planet, well, friends, indcd.org is the place for you. For a one-time fee of $20, you can get an online representation that is safe and stable and a great place to launch your media empire. So reach out to indcd.org. We're also made possible by sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, my ongoing series of defensive manuals designed to help you learn the finer art of melee combat with swords and other weaponry. I spent 20 years teaching people how to make these things go. I'm pretty good at it. And you know what? I'll be honest. I don't toot my own horn here, but I read the manuals, the translations. I pored over them. And I went, hey, what if this were in plain English? And decided stick figures were the way to go. So, if you've never touched a sword and dream of being able to teach swordsmanship, this will get you there. We're also made possible by Through the Thinning Veil, my short story anthology, volume 1, of horror and terror, some of which taken from my days as a paranormal consultant. However, some of it is absolute fantasy, and it's up to you to decide which is which. I'm not telling. All those can be found on Amazon.com/author/Nicholas Tockert. Look me up. It's good stuff. For those of you who want to help sponsor my continual upgrades and repairs, please consider throwing some money at paypal.me/Nicholas Tockert to help keep the lights on around here. Any donation will be gleefully and publicly appreciated. And we should get right into my accountability. Well, friends, those of you who know that Monday. I started to say yesterday because spoilers, it continued. Monday was one of those days where nothing, and I mean nothing, went right. We had system crashes, errors, etc. That kept going on throughout Tuesday. It is so severe that I have now got half of my desk actually cleaned off, which for someone who is a complete rabid pack rat like myself is incredible. I've taken everything extraneous off my computer, so I now am down to only 4 plugins in my big converter box, not counting the tablet, which thus far has stayed plugged in. We'll see if it works at the end of this after the first hour of this broadcast. If it does, I will switch over to Art Time with Nick and do some drawings. If it doesn't, we'll call it and keep on trucking, because with Wednesday, I do not overlap with our friends Nita and Daphne for the Rage and Blogs over on the Indie Comics Network. So I have a little bit of freedom to spread my Hawaiian shirt-clad wings, so to speak. Now, accountability. You may notice that there was a bit of a lag in my start of this program. That simply was because I was in a good point writing, and I got a couple hundred words down today, which is good. I did not get to do much Saturday because Saturday was spent cleaning, working on Tuesday was spent cleaning and working on rearranging my systems to try to stabilize the assorted problems. From what I can tell, the addition of some of the new features that Windows is adding, including this lovely Bing search bar thing that loves to stay connected to my internet no matter what I do, have drained the RAM quite a bit. And I use a lot of very RAM-heavy applications, and my computer is currently rather under on the RAM. So I will be trying it, either I will or my lovely wife will, in the near future to acquire a larger RAM stick that's compatible with this Lenovo box and see if we can't just keep this guy running a little longer. If not, I will have to amend my plan to fire up the box that Carl gave me as a living room box and set it over here and do some other things, because I need to be able to stream and draw at the same time, which takes a lot out of my system. Other than that, Haints and Hellfire is trucking along. We are working on the layout, prep, and plan for LodgeCon. Been dealing with some other things of late. It's been challenging because this is a rough time of year. It's been a rough time of year for my lovely wife. It's a little rough on me for the same reasons, being that this week contains the anniversaries of the passing of both my mother and father-in-law. And so it's hard on Amanda. It makes this part of the year a little rough. And I'm trying to be as supportive as possible, because that's what we do. That's what you do when you're in a marriage. And we have some other extraneous things, including a really nasty bug that's come through that has drained us. But we are still going. Still profiting, still producing. I have some new art that I did offline because, it was straining too much because I want to address a point a friend of mine has where, and I keep running into this. This is I see it as a social artistic problem, and that I think deserves addressing because we deal with a lot of imposter syndrome on the show, and a lot of the greatest creators I know and some of the nicest people I know, including my buddy Bladed Thesis, who I'm going to see if I can get a link. He's been trying to run a show on Eastern martial arts and getting, one or no views. It's hitting him really hard. So I'm going to be trying to promote that more, probably Friday. Because he's an interesting guy and he has a lot of useful knowledge. But it's not easy cracking into what we do. That's a little off topic, though. The problem I keep running into is, especially with Halloween approaching, and Halloween is a time where a lot of people experiment with fashions, especially young ladies. Sometimes they're bolder in their fashion than they normally are. Sometimes they allow themselves to run amok in other things, But I've found a frequent occurrence that has happened in my social circles being sort of the shoulder that people confide into, the ear people confide into, the shoulder they cry on, etc. And that is this. On the topic of beauty and aesthetics, many of my friends will talk about my other friends and use their aesthetics as the reason for why they're afraid to dress how they want or do how they want, and this carries over to the creative measure. I'd write, but I'm not as good as Brian K. Morris. I'm not as prolific. My God. Why should I write? I can't keep up with that. Or I don't, so-and-so is so beautiful. I don't dare try. I mean, what would be the point of me trying to dress a certain way? Or look at Luke Stone, or look at Brian Rodman or Grant Lanker. Look at their works. Why would I even bother trying to make a comic with people like that doing as good as they can do and struggling? It's a fight. I'm not talking aesthetically. These are comic people I know, and many more. I just grabbed names that came to mind. Why should I try? Look at how good the pros are. I mean, Patterson! Now, stepping by the fact that I truly don't believe that Patterson writes what Patterson, nearly as much as Patterson claims to write. I think it's sort of like going to a Gordon Ramsay restaurant. What are they, 67 of them? Your Gordon Ramsay is not very likely to be cooking your food, folks. But aside from all that, little snark. I will throw a little snark out there because snark is spicy and it is hump day. We should only look at each other in comparison to learn. And we should be working and leaning and seeking the counsel of people who do better than us. However, whatever our art is, whatever our expression is, be it simply in our personal fashions, be it in the stories we write but never publish, although I believe you should try, be it in the art that so many people don't share that they should, or sell. You can't allow comparison to stop you from expressing. And that comparison, but they're so much better, is the seed, the source, the root of imposter syndrome, which is something we work so hard to stand against. Because recently, friends, and I will not call out names because, friends, I love you and I keep my confidences. But trust me, when people who have no business feeling the way that they do reach out to me, my heart breaks. And it just cries tears of blood, because these are amazing creators, amazing people dealing with unspeakable challenges and still striving, rising, doing the best they can. And I ask you, my viewers, if this applies to you, open your ears, open your heart, and shut your mind up for just a minute here. Every art matters. Every creation matters. Every person matters. And there are so many kinds. For those of you who feel bad about your appearance, realize in men and women, there are whole volumes of different subclasses of beauty, different era types of beauty, different points of interest. And many people simply aren't, I heard it, it's okay, you're just not your own type. And while I am all about maintaining health and staying, if you can get in shape, getting as good a shape as you can to be healthy, and holding against the dangers of, and I may missay it, body dysmorphia, which could be a deadly thing. Don't let yourself lament, because one, there's always going to be somebody who's into you. If there's one thing that I've learned being a denizen of the internet since it rose, it is that there is always going to be somebody who's interested in something. It may not be everyone, but you are never completely immune from someone or something making you hot and bothered. There is someone out there who, if I said, I'm going to hold up this paperclip and I'm going to bend it, is going to get all kinds of interested real fast. World's full of people who are excited by whatever for whatever means. You think that doesn't apply to writing? Let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you something that's universal. What food is good? Now, you don't need to answer this in the chat, but I want you to think about this. What food is good? Now, there are autistic people, like my son. There are people with allergies, etc., who will say one or two things. But the vast majority will say, lots of food is good. You look at Thanksgiving in America, what's good? You have a table of good. You have a buffet of good. We literally have whole restaurants that are called buffets, where they put out as many little items as they can of as many different flavors, and people go, yay, I want this and this and this and this and this in their personal combination. Now, some people only want a little turkey. Some people want all the turkey. Some people only want turkey if they have mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes or something. But there's always going to be somebody who wants what you have. The trick is finding them and not valuing yourself and your creation solely by profit. Creation is not necessarily an intrinsically capitalistic act. Okay? Money is great. I love getting money. Everybody loves getting money. And you'd say, well, what about the people who've taken vows of poverty, whatever? They love getting money too, because you know what they do? They just hand it off to somebody who can do good with it. Because money is potential to make change. That's all it represents. Potential to exchange goods or services and make a change in your world. Maybe that means there's a new item that you have access to. Maybe that means something that you can't do gets done. That's it. Incredibly useful tool. Handy to have. but not the end all and be all. Necessary in our modern society for the most part, sure. Largely because that's how taxes work, and without taxes, the government gets very cranky. But whichever government you have, they kind of all seem to agree on that one. Excuse me. But your creation matters. Your story matters. One of the most horrific things that exists in history is how much artists in their life suffer, only to be discovered later. If you ever have doubt, watch. There's an episode of Doctor Who, and those of you who know Doctor Who are knowing exactly where I'm going. Where it's during Tennant, I believe. Is it Tennant or is it Smith? Anyway, the important thing is they take Vincent van Gogh to the future. They take him to an art museum. And the doctor asks the tour guide, played by Bill Nighy, it's a brilliant job, in 100 words or less or so, how important was Van Gogh? And he proceeds this beautiful soliloquy of how he transformed pain into beauty and how it mattered to so many. You'd never know, friends, who your work's going to matter to. And I'm going to give you something else. Even if it matters only to you, it has value. Even if it only matters to one person, if it makes one little light in this world of darkness. Because, friends, you watch the news, you watch the current events, you watch what's going on in the world and has been going on, and it is like a rain of hammer blows. It's like being stomped by a circle of people, just constant bam, bam, bam. The darkness assails our very spirit and souls. And the tools that actually stop that are not violence. Violence at times may be a horrible, cruel necessity to be used with extreme care and great thought. Always regret afterwards. Because that's not what will save us. What saves us are these little specks of light, these candle lights in the middle of a darkened stadium, the little flickers and glows that flash and burn out or glow dim, or some of you brilliant, magnificent lunatics are walking around with spotlights and don't know it, bringing light to the shadows. That is what matters, my friends, and that you matter. I am not prone to exaggeration, contrary to what people think, because I am a man of great passion. I believe that the creative mind and effort is what makes us great. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I promote. That's why I encourage. It's why I build up. Because I have come to understand that I am not a big domino. I am not ever going to be a remembered name in the annals of much of anything. And that sounds like imposter syndrome. It's not. It's different. This is not hypocrisy, although some of you will think it is. What I can be is a stone that makes ripples. What I can be is a footstool that helps other people get just a notch higher, just a little bit higher. And that's something that matters. It's something that matters because you matter, because your thoughts matter. We are not, we have nearly transcended the fact we are animals. And while the genetic drive to procreate is so hardwired in us, as we understand procreation, as we understand genetics, as we understand things, it becomes less important that our DNA persist, and more important that our ideas persist. That what we figured out, the lessons we've learned, the collective wisdom of our tiny experience compared to that of the bulk of humanity's history, still be preserved. Because with the right idea, the right mission, and the right preservation, this is why I believe hard copies are so important. This is why I believe libraries and archives and museums are important. We can preserve these ideas and take the wisdom that we have fought so hard to acquire, the stories we sought so hard, the dreams and goals and imagery and beauty and ugliness and truth, these things that matter but are intangible because they are in our heads, can only be expressed in short time with these words, these things, these utterances, the grunts and grinds and high-pitched warbling that wobbles out of my misformed mouth. Or out my hands onto the keys into digital space. Or flow from my finger to the pen, to the paper. Our stories matter because we never know what will be preserved. History is fickle. Preservation is fickle. Your art may be forgotten. I'm not going to lie to you. Or it may be something that lasts for hundreds of years. There's a cuneiform tablet from Babylon in which a surprisingly elegant letter is written about a guy who's scamming folks on his copper. He's selling what he's claiming to be high quality copper, and it's junk. It's a bad review. It's a review that has lasted 3,000 years, perchance. And the guy writing it has, think about it, the individual, a human being who tink, 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 tink. This guy's a liar. Tink, 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 tink. Into a little tablet. And I know that it was soft clay and they pushed it in and it didn't go tink, but I like the tink. It adds to the story. He had no chance of fathoming that his little slice of life, this little thing, could be preserved or disseminated thousands of miles and thousands of years. Your stuff matters. Your stuff matters. Your art matters. Your music matters. Your writing matters. Your story matters. Your perspective matters. Even if it's the worst thing out there and society looks at it and goes, ugh, it matters because it was an example of what not to do. This is why we preserve the writings of horrible people, not to glorify it, but to remind people, wow, that's a bad idea. And I guarantee everyone on this list has better ideas than that which I refer. That ideas that can do more good than that which I refer. So keep creating. I'm going to hold you to it. Now I've gone way late on my getting into the chat. I am massively behind. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop a link for drop a little video where Joe's going to talk about what's going on IndieCD, and then I'm going to deep dive the bottomless well of chats that I have ahead of me, and we'll keep going from there. If I have time, I'll do art. If I don't, I won't. We'll see. But guys, be right back in about a minute and a half.
Hi, I'm Joe Bachman with the Independent Creator Directory, and we're going to talk about what is the Independent Creators Directory today. Well, this was created so that creators of various disciplines could have a space to list links to their works to promote themselves and also promote other creators that they know. This also gives them a way of having all their links stored so that if by chance they get the ban hammer from any of the major social media networks, they still have a place they can send people to be able to look at what they've created. To become a member, just go to indiecd.org, click on Become a Member in the top right. It's a $20 lifetime fee that also includes updates to your page whenever you have new works that come out. All you have to do is contact me. I am the one that sets up your page for you. I am also the one that does all the updates for you. You'll also have access to the back end for a blog if you're wanting that feature. And I can also grant you access to the calendar to be able to add in any events that you may be going to. For any other questions you may have, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, on the Independent Creator Directory Facebook page, or by emailing me at jbachman@indiecd.org. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Joe, for helping make this great day possible for everyone on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube who is watching this lovely stream. Folks, support the Independent Creator Directory. They are some of the best out there. And first through the door an hour ago was our man Alec. Alex Creations. Good morning. Good morning, Alec. Hope you're doing well. I went out for coffee and then got it done. I'm jealous. Right now, as that is fat guy approved. Coffee and a donut sounds divine. Feeling good. I think I would do some harm for a gas station breakfast sandwich right about now. Accountability. I have some, finally. Going along with more of my storyline for my campaign. My players are really enjoying it, and so is I, getting feedback and constructive criticism. Be sure to keep it all written down, because with the way the world is, you might be able to turn that campaign either into a story or a book. Dusk Falls Over Ravencliff Gorge. Now, I do need to apologize to you, and please ask you to convey my apologies that the last game of the year didn't really happen, in that with November being how it is, and then December, we probably won't be able to have a game till January for the D&D group that RPG.D&D. Okay, I'm sorry, I got to cure myself of that, because there is some news relative to all that. Actually, it's relative to this channel, so I'll let you guys know. Hasbro has just broken off their contract with Penguin, or either Penguin or Random House, for their publishing of their hard copies, which means they are looking to do the Marvel model of self-distribution, which is going to likely be a huge blow to local game shops. At the same time, WotC, who owns both Wizards of the Coast and Magic, are changing their booster packs to be different, and encouraging and trying to step away from physical cards to encourage more people to simply play on Arena, MTG Arena, which is the online play game for Magic. So, instead of playing the card game with the actual cards, they like that because it cuts out the secondary market. It means if you want Magic cards, you have to buy them from them. The production is actually insanely cheaper than it is to produce paper Magic cards. And it kills the speculation market, basically. So there's that whole movement there. We're seeing something very similar. This is stuff that will look real familiar to comic fans around the 90s. So you can see how that went. History is repeating itself, which, friends, is why I always say, study your history. Now, that was off topic, but good. I might be able to stay for the show today. I've been busy as heck with home stuff. Excellent to hear that. Hey, Alec, I'm sorry I was getting kitten attacked for my Pop-Tart filling. Could understand that, too. My breakfast today was actually upgraded oatmeal. I had my usual oatmeal stuff, but I stopped by our family tree, which is a branch of Mary's Emporium from Watsika, and got like a whole bucket of dehydrated fruits and coconut, basically all the really good fruity stuff that goes in trail mix. And I've been throwing a handful of that in my oatmeal, making it quite delightful. Yes, it raises the calorie count, but I've been cutting my calories too low, and at least it gives me a bit more diversity. Gotta have good breakfast. I'm thinking eggs as my post show snack. I'm not sure. Accountability. Had a bit of breakthrough on a Seaman spy novel. Yes, Carl, and good morning. I realized I didn't say that to you. We are moving again. Not a blitzkrieg, but more like a Sherman tank, but moving. Well, that is appreciated. Good morning. We're joined by Dawn Dulas, who has risen for our glory. Hi, Dawn. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. We've been getting some of the pictures of the cats out, so that's doing better. Hey, Alec. It's dawn. Here comes the sun. Shooby-dooby. And Carl, that I'm not ignoring. Lamau. I saw your text, Carl, while I was working on my costume for next week and promptly forgot to respond. Blink, blink, costume? Oh, you have to give us details. Because remember, most of the people in my chat get to go to HaloCon, and I don't. So I expect lots of pictures, lots of posts. Rub my nose in the glory of the joy that you are having. Carl at Culver's. I'm texting this photo to Dawn right away. Dawn at Culver's rolls eyes. And Dawn is out at breakfast with a friend, abandoning us entirely today, but that's okay. It's the friend who will babysit the kids while we're gone. You got to put into that ATM if you want to pull out of that ATM sometimes. Meanwhile, Calvin is giving me the stink eye for finishing my Pop-Tart without him. She needs girl time with her Pop bestie. So he likes Pop-Tarts. Her hubby Joe says, please take her out and let her talk her. Please take her out and let her talk herself out. Please. Calvin had some cherry filling licked off my fingers, so he's good for today. Same thing happens whenever I make my little mac and cheese balls. So I understand. Not the green room, not last man standing. Here, I will give you a visual reminder. The green room. And while I'm giving visual reminders, remember that Dark in the Park 2 is happening at Twin Oaks Park in New Chicago. $3 gets you into a really fun haunted attraction or one pair of socks for the National Honor Society's Socktober Drive. Guys, if you're in the region for that and you don't have plans, go up there. See Joe and Trey. I know they're going to have fun. They're going to be working their butt off doing stuff. And I know how good they look in costumes. It ain't fair, friends. It just ain't fair. And Alec is present, so be good. So, to creating. I know some writers get down 1,000 words a day. Well, I don't get 500, but I do a lot of typing in my head, then editing it there too. I see the scene, hear the words, fix them. You got to find your process. I'm ADHD. Nope, I am not looking at that. Wow. That is fascinating. I'm sorry, just as I was talking, I got a notification from D&D Beyond showing me the itemized microtransactions that they're trying to sell me. Anyway, look, we all work at our own pace. Do not be afraid to work at the pace that's comfortable. I am an ADD pantser. I write in spurts. The story will reach out and say, this is happening next. I'll go and slam into the wall. And every time my beta readers who are being incredibly silent because they're still on strike till the story is done. I think that's cruel and unusual because I feed off of their encouragement. They're like, oh, I slam into the wall. How hard do you think I hit it? I'm seeing the story in my mind. I'm watching it. My half-dead, nerve-riddled fingers are fumbling across the keyboard, and then it stops. All jokes aside, and Carl makes a point. He's processing it. By the time the words get to paper, I only have a few edits here and there. That's because you have a trained and refined mind. You have a mental palace. I have a Twilight Garden, but that gets complex. And that has nothing to do with memory. That's just someplace I end up. But my mind is just a manic yard sale of time and space where items that exist and habit all overlap. There is no reason. There is no rhyme. There's just floating tables at different heights of random things, and the tables move. There are labels, but the letters change and float around. Everything is disconnected, but everything is about equidistant from me at all times until I pursue the object that I'm holding on to. It's nebulous. I am impressed by your system, Carl. Don't ever feel bad about your word rate. Just keep doing it. Grant broke $2,000. Yay! Kickstarter. That's the Kickstarter for Grant Lankard's Beowulf project. Just the way I've learned to work since I had a job for so long and could not write things down. I understand that too. You're always writing in the mind, and then you just upload it to the typing process. Yay! And yay for having that link handy. Yes, I do. I don't know how my mind works. I know the wheels don't know enough to stop turning even when there's no hamster making them turn. Metacognition is a fascinating thing for those of us in a different place. We got lucky today, R.E. Link. Ghost hamster. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. I think that ghost hamster might be ridden by my motivation. Oh, that reminds me. Today I was doing morning web routine, but the browser kept opening the same site over and over. Calvin was leaning against some of the keys while snoozing. Someday the thrilling conclusion to my novel will be, and then he three. Oh, that reminds me. I was able to get my keyboard dried out and working. I haven't taken it apart, but it's holding. So, knock on plastic. We're still rolling. Shared over to FB to wake some folks up. Thank you. Drop my like but hit my toe on the way down. Ow! No broken bones till after Halloween. Thank you. Hail chat. Hail Nick. Hey, Awoke, hope you're out there creating, making stuff, and having a good day. DeviantArt.com/Alex Art, Tatsuya Lighting, promoting. I love this guy. He's fun to draw. I can't wait to look into it. And Alec, I apologize. I did respond to your email quite promptly, but I forgot to hit send, so it should be in your box now. Right, Dawn. Hey, Woke. Hey, Woke. Hey, Dawn and Carl. Forgot to say that earlier. That's okay. See, no worries. We get it. People are trying to get things done. No worries, no worries. I like that shenaniganry. Basically, between my speech impediment, the fact that I've dabbled unsuccessfully in several languages and I associate with people who speak others, I am fully comfortable bending, twisting, and assaulting the English language as much as I feel necessary to get my points across. Birdcage, where are you at? Asked and summoned. Hey, Bird. I'm glad to see you guys. I heard there might be some kind of drama going on with like CG and a bunch of comic creators and weirdness. You know, I hope everyone's doing okay because drama never works good for anybody. My mortgage company told me that insurance costs went up and my escrow was only $1,226 short, and I can send it any time. Yeah, thanks. So no donations for a while. Sorry, everyone. Carl, no. I would never want anyone to do any harm to themselves fiscally when saying I will accept donations. I've just been reminded frequently that I have the right and duty to ask, if that makes sense. Hey, Bird. That sucks, Carl. I'm sorry. I'll live, Alec. I'll just grumble for a month. I'm calling dibs. A tiger mage with a triangular scepter. Oh. This is how I'm going to save that comment so I can find it later. You want... Okay. Tiger mage with a triangular scepter. That sounds great! Now, ouch, Carl. Fair. We have to pay about $700 in taxes in 1 month, next month, birthday month. So I'm helping to pay that with my savings, LOL. Things are going up, not down. Unfortunately, yes. Amanda's cuddle puddle was adorable. I think she needed that. Yes, she did. And I think the cats did too. Everybody's finally settling down. And I'm glad with winter coming. Sometimes it feels like cat chaos. It was just the casualness of it, Dawn. We know you have piles of money and we're trying to help you get rid of them. Carl, they're like, slide some of that over. I'd better get that spy novel and cash in on that 30 I might make. Yeah, I'm looking at my mighty $10 that I'm making this month so far on Amazon. Like, yep, it's one of those. Nick is talking about imposter syndrome. Yep, I am. Didn't mean to walk into that, but that tirade was coming, and I realized I haven't ran an ad on for anybody in a while because of the timing. So let's run an ad real quick. You know, it's spooky, and Carl's having a hard time. Maybe you want to throw some money at him. Let me give you something to aim for. Carl writes the kind of horror that I aspire to. He's just an incredible author, and I really hope you guys can, if you haven't bought that, buy it. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you a trick for supporting your creatives that costs less. If you have Amazon, what is it? Kindle Unlimited. Read the book that you're going to buy on Kindle Unlimited before you buy it. That way, the author will get the page rate for you having read the book, and then they will also get the cost of you having bought the book. That way, it essentially double bills to the author, and it doesn't cost you anything for the first reading. I am a big fan of read the book on Kindle, pick it up, and then get a hard copy, because hard copies are beautiful things to have when the power goes out. Thinking that way is a wonderful thing. Now, I also want to remind you guys and start, there is a very small group on Facebook. It's in brackets St. Nick's Christmas Mall. Right now it has a picture of a manatee on it, shockingly. I know. It's almost like it's becoming part of my branding. But that group was made for a bunch of us to be able to share our links so that we could shop from each other as, that season starts creeping up. The only reason I'm telling that is I find that somewhere around now is when I start, so I can spread, what I'm doing over across multiple checks. And I have a lot of people I try to give to. This should shock no one. So it takes me a few months of prep to be able to do that. And if you are in that condition, there you go. Okay? So let's keep going on. The real bite is when an author's been dead for a few years and they're still outselling you. Oh, yeah. Well, Willie Shakes. Willie Shakes outsells us all. My man, Willie Shakes. Willie Shakes. Oh, the most disrespectful thing I think I've ever dropped referring to the Bard. Willie Shakes. But I'm feeling rather irreverent, possibly irrelevant, but we're making it work anyway. And speaking of reference, I've been referring to you, Nick. I've been becoming more positive about myself by the way I dress, acting clothes I want to wear, and I've been learning to work with myself, kind to myself. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm so happy to hear that for you, Alec. Comparing yourself to others pulls yourself down a bit, honestly. Yeah. I literally felt so good about myself yesterday. I looked good. I look good. I'm getting healthier, and that's what matters. I didn't care if I looked masculine. I didn't care if I looked feminine. I just felt comfortable in my own skin. That's what should be a goal, being comfortable in your own skin. Yes, Alec, I'm going to say this, you're approaching wisdom far beyond your age. And that comes usually from having to grow through trauma. It's tragic, but true. I'm very proud of your progress. Keep that up. The hard work on yourself is what's going to make you more comfortable with yourself. The brain is amazing in how it processes what we like compared to the person next to us. What food you enjoy, that's good food. For me, it's certain foods with non-weird textures. I fully understand that certain textures can trigger everything. My tastes in everything have changed as time went by, so don't judge by today only. Absolutely. I tend to take foods that I dislike and deliberately retry them every couple of years just to see if I like them. Question posed to me, says Dawn. What is your favorite music book genre? My answer, yes. For me, the answer is very close. I like something that tells a good story, that moves me, and has a good rhythm and pacing to it. More musically, it's hard to define because there's an intersection point where blues and jazz and rock and folk all kind of overlap on other genres. And I'll hit that, and it hits, and I like it. Trying to define that's nearly impossible. I always try to compliment someone when I read facial expressions. You look nice today. Have an amazing day and an even better week, is what I say, and take the time to stop and say that. I try to bring kindness wherever I go because you never know how those little words can make an impact, a big impact on a person's life for good. Absolutely. I enjoy spending time with you folks, by the way. You all keep getting slapped down by life, but you keep getting up again. Good job. You guys are inspirational. You just are. Same here, Carl. I enjoyed meeting you for the first time. I'm excited to meet a lot more of you because I love you all. That's right, folks. I've started saying it more often. I like it. I love you, and so should you. Man, myself and Birdcage work together. We're not feeling it today. This is too inspiring. We came in with our heads down, but this is good stuff. Thank you. That's what I'm here about. That's why I kind of was willing to take the show. And honestly, I think why Brian K. Morris, who I leave up in the corner over here, was willing to give it to me. That's why. Because it's hard when you're falling down and you need help. And those of us who know what it's like want to do whatever we can do to help you. Okay? We live in a world where we are surrounded by sorrows and issues that we cannot control. It's a tragedy. But we can control what we do, and if we do the best we can with what we've got, there's literally nothing anymore anyone can ask of us. And we should be able to hold our heads at least relatively high. And it's a pleasure to be of service. Falling into this realm of folks have been really a saving grace for me. I was quite lost after my body fell apart after the shelter. Losing physical capacity, especially suddenly and permanently, is something that most people do not experience until old age, and they have hopefully the wisdom to endure it. In your youth, it's much more trying, and it can be very. There's a tragedy that isn't talked about. People don't tell you and don't know that you're going to grieve, and you're going to have to grieve when you lose physical capabilities or mental capabilities or both. When you are diminished by forces outside your control, or through your own mistake. You have to let yourself grieve that a bit. And that's going to take time. But you find the right group, the right perspective, and you can help folks. And I am so honored to know you, Dawn, and to be able to associate with somebody like you who does what they can in spite of everything you're dealing with. Chronic pain, chronic injury is something that is not talked about or supported nearly enough. That's why, one of the reasons anyway, why I love to promote Robin Yoda, even though most of what she does right these days is just playing, if I said, soft and comfortable video games and providing hope to people and distraction. That matters because it's coming from that perspective. Thinking about our stories, characters, etc. Thanks, man. Hey, that's what we're here for. We're all here to support each other. That's why I do this. I mean, Right now, I'm not employed outside the house. My job is to take care of my son, and I could walk away from the internet today. I could turn off everything I do and just take care of my son and live a very small, very private, albeit incredibly sad and lonely little life, because I love my wife and I love my son, but without this venue, mine would be a very lonely life. Uh, but knowing that some good comes out of it is what keeps me getting up in the morning and doing this. So you guys, by being in a position where you help me, where I can help you, or at least help you see things a little differently, it helps me. And now I'm around a lot of animal lovers that love art in many different senses. Yeah. And we do good in the roles we have. And sometimes, life, well, eventually for everybody, life changes what role you have. And then you find ways to do good where you are in that role. Sometimes that the role you have is recovering. And your job is to do good for the sake of yourself, sure, but for the good you can do in the future. Carl says the internet and shows like this allow people with different issues to come together in groups without leaving the house. Wow, someone wound Nick up this morning. Yeah, that happens sometimes. This is some good stuff here. It's what I do. No, you know what? No, somebody I know is hurting, and few things empower me as much as knowing that someone I care about is hurting, and they may be in the chat, they may not. I hope they catch the review if they miss it. But if this does any good, I'm doing my job. Sometimes we all need this talk, Bird. Nick, I used to think before I met you, I would not be here before I turned 16. I'd be gone. No, Alec, but because of that ripple you made and Amanda, I think I've made a difference. Even if it's not known, it's a difference. And that's stuck with people I've met. You're right. You are making far more of a difference than you can imagine, Alec, and you're going to continue. Because that's who you are. I really believe that there's only one real defining split between people, okay? And because everybody goes through trauma, everybody hurts, everybody goes through pain, but there is only two ways you come out of it. And one, that's interesting because that was supposed to be off the line. Anyway, one of these people, one of these kinds of people are the kind of people who I suffered, so everyone should suffer. It's only fair. And then there's another group of people who I've suffered and I want to do everything in my power that no one should ever feel the way I do. And that second group is who I choose to associate with. That is my first, one of my first dividers in life. I judge people almost exclusively by their kindness. Not necessarily their niceness, not necessarily their skill or attractiveness. I mean, I'm an artist. I assess beauty constantly, but I assess beauty the same in people, usually the same way I assess beauty in a sunset or in a flower or in a scene or in a neat rock I found. There's so many kinds of it. And it takes a lot to be ugly in my eyes. But the people who are here and the people who stick around are kind. And that matters. Kindness matters, and you matter because you're being kind. I mean, it's just a cycle. It makes the world a little better, and it's very, very defiant and heroic because the whole world is lined up with time's arrow, which points towards maximum entropy. Time always seeks to break up things. Systems fail. The center cannot hold. But instead of simply, I want to say it's Tennyson, borrowing from him, allowing that rough beast its hour finally come to pass, slouching its way to Bethlehem to be born. Instead of allowing such a beast to rise and embracing it, people I know have the courage and kindness, and it takes so much energy and devotion to remain soft, to deliberately say, no, I am going to care. That the I don't give a dang crowd doesn't impress me much, because it would be much simpler and easier to just look out for number one and not care. But everyone here is caring, and they're not just caring, they're doing something about by creating something. And I really don't care what it is. I know that sounds terrible, but it could be, rather well-endowed anime girls. It could be, a thrilling horror story. It could be a clay duck. It could be whatever, crochet or music, or what you're creating in a world designed for destruction. In those moments, you are living avatars of creation. Everyone here. And that's heroic. That's defiant in the face of unconscionable. I mean, the English language fails me at the level of odds. And it's just, there's a beauty in that beyond measure. Carl, you're so right. Yikes, I didn't know my complaint on Yelpus was still up there. I need to take that down. Sorry, Dan Hollifield filed it for you. Anyway, and now that difference is helping my friend becoming a firefighter. That difference is helping me remember that I will always have to thank you for helping me make a difference. We love Joe's ad. I missed the floating head one. I swear I'm changing that ad. I need to do it. LOL. Oh, where are you? Oh, where you been hiding? Dang. Don just pimp walked in. Where's my hoe at? Whack. Don't forget to drop your like here. Yeah, Joe. No, we know how it is. Game recognizes game, Don. That's what I said, Don. Oh, wait, not LOS. Just popping by for a moment, grabbing breakfast, and heading home to build a shed. That sounds amazing. I like all of that. Don, why is that your autocorrect? Joke. No, that was Clumsy Thumbsy. Ooh, that could almost be my summoning name. You'll know if I'm under duress or aliens have taken over or something, if suddenly my texting from my phone is clear. I mean, the autocorrect is wrong. I'm a hoe for money. We all are. Maybe a bit of subconscious slip of drizzle. LOL. Wow. How dare you think about fishnets? Anyway, apparently my coworker has a spirit following him around again. His coffee cup keeps moving randomly on the table, and is it wet beneath it? Have him take an alcohol pad and wipe the bottom of his cup. And, thoroughly clean the table. Let's see if we can't get that debunked so he doesn't have a spirit problem. If he actually has a spirit problem, I am totally retired. I don't advise and help people with that at all. Okay? Okay. Lamau. Say hi to the spirit for me. In other news, I do believe there will be a Burning is Love tonight at 7 p.m. Just need to get the stream set up. Stop by for some holiday designs and great conversation. Oh, Halloween. I get to meet my very best friend for the first time on Halloween, most likely, if all goes well. That is amazing and delightful. I hope it goes great for you, Alec. Be safe, though. Be sure to walk with your stick. You know which one. Independent creator directory. Is that more Christmas? Of course there is, Joe. Listen, I have to rework my schedule. Don't want my dirty socks. Yeah, we do. Yep. Great, Joe. We need a show tonight. And yes, it will be more Christmas stuff since that is what I'm going to be able to sell at this point. That's fair. Just don't play the music yet. It's not even November. Thank you. Mariah Carey back in the cage. I screenshot my thing on naming the names of Halloween to drive back the beast until the blackest of Fridays. I'm twitching at the thought of Mariah. I used to twitch at the thought of Mariah until she did that song. Wow. Wrong twitch. Oh, well. Thinking about Nick's subconscious garage sale mind. There's a story there somewhere. I really think there is. Now, wait. Absolute truth. There was a story in everything. I was going to say something, then forgot. It happens. It happens. You are in good company. I'm trying to think it was making me forget even more. Just relax. That way lies madness. Group/page link, St. Nick. I don't dare do that right now. I know Cindy's in the group. I will be sharing it around. But right now, for the stability sake of my system, I'm not going to do that because I'm still hoping to be able to turn on my tablet and actually do some art for you guys after I get things done. Oh yeah, my goal for birthday month. Support some of you all by buying books, art, etc. if I can financially. If not, spend my Christmas money on it because I like y'all's work. Well, I hope you get work that, you only buy things you truly enjoy, although in this group it's really hard to not. And speaking of things we really enjoy, we're joined by Bonsert Bokel. Afternoon. Hey, Bonsert, says Dawn, and says I as well. How are you, sir? Launching our Kickstarter this Sunday. Excellent. Willie Shakes. Willie Shakes. Oh, God. My next work will be in I can say, and by pentameter. I can say it. I need to work on that bandwagon. This is motivation I needed this morning. Just start sharing more. Good. Keep going. Keep creating. Wow. Cool. Well, try Mute Math. Watch their live videos. You will love them. Okay. I'll look it up. Alec, I was bummed because I missed LibraryCon because I wanted to meet a bunch of folks you included. Next year, baby. And I still want to try to find a site Okay, if you go to Fowler, there's a place called the Annex. And it is near the park on what's called the Amway. It's just a road on the other side of 52. It's big enough to hold a small convention quite nicely. I would like to try to secure it. If not, I may have to look as far as like Lafayette or West Lafayette to secure a place to hold an actual convention for authors and gaming and basically get the lot of blessed lunatics I know all together in one place to see if we can't make some money off of people who need more blessed lunatics in their lives. I know, Don, we definitely miss you. If you couldn't make it to our house, you could ride with us. Actually, Nick is closer to you than Donna. And Donna. I turned 18 in 2025. Big group hug in 2025. He is? I'm like in the same county as Nick. I walk to Amanda's work. Yeah. We're talking 10 miles away, something like that, 15 miles away. Maybe not. Only about a 30-minute difference. Apologies, my bad. No apologies. I'm just glad that you guys are so close. 20 minutes, thumbs. Looks for cats. Nobody's expecting early lunch. Must be because mommy is gone. Nice. Spoke too soon. Hi, Charcoal. Buddy and Georgette are playing back and forth. She just yawned in his face, these kids. A lot of people dream for fame, money. I work hard for stability, happiness, better things for my family, better things for my mom. I don't wish or think a lot for myself. I'm working for others. You're a good one, Alec. Switching to the mobile version of YouTube while I open a can of whatever they are eating today. That works great. Man, we've stopped working. You're going to get us fired. Great words, man. Well, that's what I do. I mean, that's what I try for. This has me feeling like our stuff matters, even though we're just newbies. Everybody started out a newbie. Yes, even if it just matters to you. Do it anyway. You never know. I have books and games that have sold like once or twice in the 16 years that I've had them up. I have some that, my sword books have been in, I lost track, I want to say 18 different countries. You don't know what will succeed, what won't, but if your definition of success, if your victory conditions are defined as getting a great story out, you can succeed in that. And you don't fall, especially for our artist ones, do not fall into the artist's trap. The artist trap is this. Every time you do a picture, you are more experienced. So at the end, you will never like your picture because you will think you could do better. And the reason you can do better is because you did the picture. Same thing happens with novels. Same thing happens with creativity. Anything you make, but you potentially have more experience to be, as a baseline, better. Well, I've got a comment done. Hold on. There we go. I used to put the Don't Care Act on, as I used to get hurt so much by people who should have protected me, loved me. But now I'm just here, working for others and fighting for those who can't. That's why I can't wait to put a sword in your hand, kiddo. Just got to wait till it's legal. Woke, everyone's matters. At Woke Breaker, your stuff does matter. I believe everything we do has a purpose. It matters. Even if we're new. Heck, I'm still counted as new. And it matters. Everyone's stuff matters. Okay, DM me the link later. Link, I give up. Don wants to be DM'd the kink. You heard it. Whatever happens next is not my fault. Don, I'm sobbing. Thanks, Alex Creations. Sorry, not sorry, Alec. You emote. Oh, I love you guys. Bad YouTube. Tender trout feast. Looks good. Nope. I feel like I've almost made Nick cry on the show too many times. I don't know what you're talking about. Of course I do. I'm a big softie. They can have my share. Yeah, I think they should. Let's run an ad. And I think I have an ad to run. And then I will attempt to turn my tablet on. And if it works, we'll do some art.
1791. A celestial anomaly appeared in the heavens above. The Elysium megastructure, vast and enigmatic, loomed in the orbit of the moon, defying explanation. From whence it came, none could say. Some believed it always had been there, hidden among the stars, biding its time to re-emerge. In 1822, a visionary named Ghulam Ali embarked on a daring mission to unlock the secrets of the Elysium object. But his quest ended in tragedy, with rockets lost to the fickle tendrils of fate. Ghulam Ali, once revered, became a reclusive figure on the Babylon Project, his private platform in the middle of the Atlantic, where it lived in solitude for 50 years, until the world had need of him again. Unannounced, a powerful figure of influence knocks on the palace's gates to deliver her demands, whatever those might be. Unravel the mysteries of the Elysium megastructure. Discover the secrets of arcology, a city like no other, where refugees from lost worlds forge new identities. Join us on a journey to Elysium, where science fiction, steampunk, and fantasy collide in a tale inspired by Jules Verne, Moebius, and Robert E. Howard. Prepare to embark on an epic adventure like no other. Support Journey to Elysium on Kickstarter and become part of the Association of Ishtar Multiverse.
One, sponsors are doing great work, and two, it looks like my system is running. So let's see. I see him tear up, and then I start crying. Don't mean to make you cry. That's okay. It happens. New ad. Nice sponsor. I should get moving. Lots to do next week. I gotta balance everything out. You do what you gotta do. I'll be switching some screens around in a minute. We'll be getting some art time with Nick Mojo on, and if you want, you can catch it. We're at about hour 22 in. Oh, Nick, I have a request for advice from my teacher. He's feeling like his efforts go to waste, so I'm helping him feel like so much. To get students involved, he's been overwhelmed, then let down. Okay. Being a teacher is incredibly hard in any format. They just need a lot of love, a lot of support, a lot of patience, and get in them coffee or some snacks they can hide in their drawers. Is always well appreciated. I have I have a small collection, and I can show you. Okay, quick tour real quick. This is the ever-growing wall of cool. It needs to be adjusted because I have a lot of pops that need to go up there and other things. But that whole row of gargoyles, except for Duthulu at the end, came from a Secret Santa who just gave me amazing things throughout the year because they heard I collect gargoyles. So actually, let me see. A couple of the guys up on the shelf back there of the gargoyles that watch over me came that way too. Do you know what your teacher is really into personally? Because knowing what they're into personally, you can support that. But basically, just being there is what's really going to matter. See, I saw Bonsard on the Ginjin Pedro show last night. I've been meaning to catch those, but guys, I broadcast so many hours, and with the family and stuff, I don't have a lot of time to sit and watch the broadcasts I want. It sounds crazy, but I keep myself rather busy. So I apologize if I miss you guys' programs. It's not any lack of quality. It's girth of what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, got to finish vacuuming Donna's office while she's gone. That works. Rocks. But his efforts go to waste. Okay. Well, then, you just let him know that he matters. Let him know that, have other students let him know he matters. If he's doing effort and you agree with it, thank him. I know you guys are totally able to do that. You about swelled my heart to pieces last time I ran for you guys. That's a cool ad. Teachers love to hear you really helped me out and understand zzz, where zzz is some concept. Yes. He likes ducks and he's really into esports in our school, but gaming, but that's not what's not so good. But that's what's not going so good. Oh, okay. He's having trouble getting the esports going. That's a hard one. Speaking of teachers, I had an interaction with my third grade teacher this week about the banned books in Charlotte's Web. She posted it, and I commented that I love the book. That's awesome. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press my luck, and I'm going to hit a button over here. And if that button works, I'll know in just a second. And if it does, I'm going to be switching things through. And while that's going on, let's see. Continued. She read it out loud to us. She was touched and I remembered, and she mentioned it was a favorite part of her day. That's amazing. I have an idea, says Alec. Do a drawing like I did for your birthday. Yes, that is the best way to do it for a teacher who's trying to do good. Seriously. Nice. See, we approve. Now, we're well past an hour, and normally I'd say get up and do stuff, but I have gotten up during my breaks, and I am going to make some adjustment. Write things on because he needs the kind words. Exactly. So what we're going to do is, do this. Go here, here, here. Do that. Full screen layout. Stop cam, because you guys don't need to see me. And I'm going to do some art. I actually have the first one, but it's art time with Nick, which means we need, if we're doing the Wednesday conversion, I need my jams. Give me a second. Can't draw without your jams. Pull that down. Almost perfect. Now let's see if we can get this system to work so that I can do the other images and get rolling. So we're gonna hit new. Look at this. See, I did computer work, guys. We're hopping and popping, and I can still see your comments. I don't need video backgrounds. I appreciate that they're offering it. Maybe. Okay, well, I hope you stick around because we had a request, and I'll just knock that out real quick, and then we'll do some more art. That is really loud. That is so very loud today. We'll let that. That's better. It was blowing out my audio. Okay, so we go here, and it was Woke Breaker, if he's still around, wanted a tiger mage with a triangular scepter. Jeez. That is a huge pen. I don't need a huge pen. No. All right, we're going to go. I think I'm going to use my good pen. I'm feeling sketchy today. Right? God, it's been a long time since I've tried to do a tiger. Now, yeah, okay, we're going to go old school anthro with this, and that's fine. Some framework, keep rolling. And it's been a long time. I just have that very wide muzzle. Okay. Drive the action. Rolling. Then we set on the hair. And I'm just, guys, I'm still in the blue sketch line. And because it's a tiger, he's got to be powerful. Broad neck, big shoulders. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with his clothes, so we'll just kind of fur counts for now. Big old arms. Big old arms. I hate that arm, but I'm going to do something with it. Arm. Slip the white. Nope. Okay. And it doesn't matter if the color changes a little bit. You can buff. One triangular scepter. Okay, well, he's got scepter. Wasn't even going to play this game today, but I'll crank it out because it's the rest of the movie. Give me a second. That pop you heard was me putting my forearms back where they belong. I have wrist damage and it's all maxed up. But you guys are more than welcome to talk. Please do not feel you need to be quiet while I'm sketching. Our time with Nick is meant to be an interactive, chatty time, too. I may be a little delayed, but there we go. Circlet. This is the blues, and you want a triangular scepter. Scepters are weird, because they're really not meant to be set down. What's this? Make me draw hands. I see how you are. You cruel, cruel individuals. Okay. There we go. Leave the claw out for that. Triangular scepter. Base for it. Extend up. There we go. Wrist. Big old arm. Cloak. And that. Keep things discreet. Flowing out here. Okay, now we're starting to get a flow for it. Let's see. Let's see. And we've got Love It. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hand back needs to charge more. That happens. And anyone can come on our show, Cage Breaker, Nerd Talk with myself, and anyone want to? You have to let me know when is your program. Uncle Carl's housekeeping tip. Leave one spot behind the door. Only vacuum it every 5 years. You'll really feel like you've accomplished something when you clean that. Oh God. That is a great way to get your spouse very upset with you, Carl. Okay. And I know the color's moving a little bit. It's because I keep bumping it. It's not deliberate choice, but give him some billowy sleeve, space. Probably a big old necklace. Actually, I should give him a triangle necklace. We're just going to keep the triangle theme. Da, 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 da. Oh, wait. Wrong IP. Alrighty, we've got enough blues. Let's add a layer. Let's grab our black. And let's get zoomed in and get to work. Sound good, folks? Like I said, it's been a while. You guys keep encouraging me to draw anthro art. Keep it rough, though. Oh, yeah. He needs, attack eyebrows. These cannot be subtle eyebrows. There we go. Now, because he's the triangle tiger mage, and he has a little bit of scruff. Man. You guys want to, let's see. All are welcome. Glad to hear. Dust bunnies everywhere. Now the cat's ticked off. What Birdcage said, all are welcome. You can leave a link. You have a wrench. Yeah, throw that link up. That's why I asked for it. Folks will watch the show and see what's going on. If they can, cool. If they can't, I think I could give them just a little bit of some goatee action or a soul patch or something. It'll just make it more interesting. Hit the teeth, but don't oversell it. Yes. I used to do this at one point. I'll tell you, you want to feel like imposter / scared. Try to do furry art when you realize that Daphne Leish is in the chat. I mean, she's not today, but or when Nita Lanning's around. That'll mess with you. I like the curly Q ear. We can do that. Sort of match the curly Q. We'll throw a little in there. Now we're going to spike the hair up. This is a fun one. I haven't gotten to use this brush. I've been on a more clean line work, but whenever I'm doing anthro stuff, I like to kick things off light. And there's the link to Woke Breaker Show. I admit I have not seen it, so I can't speak to it yet, but they seem like nice guys. And we're just getting this kind of set up. Hold that necklace. I'm going to add a little bit of thickness to it. I want to look more corded than chained. And we'll put the triangle here. I'm going to do it like this to avoid getting sued by Nintendo. Because I do like not getting sued. My phone is going absolutely bonkers. However, let's zoom out and see how this is coming. Okay, that's coming okay. Gonna pull the undershirt down like this, give a little bit of implication of the collar. This is a very macho mage. I kind of like this. This is definitely the kind of mage who's not afraid to, get his hands dirty or do what he has to do. I do think I want to broaden that shoulder out just a bit farther. That's fine. Do that. Underline into here. Underline into here. Underline into here. Circle for the clasp. That there. We'll add little triangles off the circle, giving it an eye-like approach, but should be visibly distinct enough from most other things to keep me out of trouble. Reach back to add the thickness of the fabric. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And thank you. I'm glad you think I'm doing a good job. I just figure if I have to do the thumbnails, I could do it much easier. Do it like I did. Just take pictures of sunsets and stuff and then add the lettering. But this forces me to have artistic accountability because I have a lot of things I need to keep doing and working on. And that hand stinks, but I'm going to use it anyway because it's the best I'm doing today. Maybe I'll do better tomorrow. That's okay. We'll do this one. And since I have one done already, let me just knock out the scepter. Oh no, there's an orb in the triangle. That's always a good sign. I'm sure nothing's going to go wrong with this. Boop. Add just a little mass to it. With a distal taper, so, you know, if you had to poke somebody with it, it would still semi-poke. And we'll do this. Behold the arrow of time. It points towards maximum entropy. Oh, when I say that, I'm quoting one of my favorite books. This really does feel loud today for some reason. The Philosophical Strangler by Eric Flint. You can actually get that free from the Baen Free Library. There are a lot of great classic books that you can get free from the Baen Free Library. That, see, that's too quiet. I'll go fiddle with that a bunch. Thank you. I've decided I'd rather also do my work and have it not be as good as I like and show that it's not as good as I like. Because, you know, people can say a lot of things, but they can never accuse me of using AI to make my work. And the fun one is when people are like, well, you need to do paper and pencil. And I will be honest, my paper and pencil stuff usually comes out better. I have more control. But I've gotten, and I will admit this is entirely Luke Stone's fault, in that he got me very pushed toward digital art, and through him I was able to get the tools to get better at it. I always give people their due. That's who I am. Now, I think I have enough of this detailed that I can get rid of the blue layer. Oh yeah, that's clean. That's clean. Well, now, oh, really? Yep. We're just gonna pull that down. Kind of double it this a bit. Throw the shirt there. Oh no, more triangles. You had to give me a triangle mage. That's fine. And I know he's a tiger and he needs more stripiness. But we'll do that. Want to keep his white chesty parts white and chesty. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. And then let's add some arcane magic light coming off of that. And give myself a light layer, go multiply with it. He's got some, I need the orange. And I need my big old marker, my Billy pen, in a size that will get the job done. Here, kitty, kitty. Psst, 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 psst. Oh. And there's a link to watch the video you're talking about. Thank you. Yep. Now you guys will get to see this picture highlighted as one of the images that I use for thumbnails for probably next week, because I need to have enough that I can get it set up, because this weekend's going to be a very busy weekend. Let's do that. Do black and orange. Let's just orange this out. Orange right here. And again, I'm just doing this very quickly because it is part of my goal is to stay fast. I want to increase my details, but I don't ever want to lose my speed. Now he needs kind of goldy eyes, so we'll do gold eye. He's a mage, so he needs completely insane hair. You wouldn't think pink is going to work, but because he's a mage, I think pink will work real well. They're going to clash, but I want it to clash. Do this. And yes, I could use my fill tool. Well, actually, the fill tool doesn't work so well on Mike, Jimmy, there are some settings you can do to make the coloring inside the lines much easier. There's also, you can do, okay, let me just grab this real quick. This is the fill tool. And let's just get a nice green going. And you can save a lot of time with something like the fill tool. It's set for refer to other layers, but I like to force myself to color whenever possible. If you are using a program like this, you want to be able to set it refer to other layers, and that will help you a lot in an application like this, Carl, because I know that Phil can make a mess, and a lot of it depends on the style of art I'm doing and the speed that I'm trying for. Sometimes I like the mess. I don't mind that I have problems. Let's see, am I still rocking the fill tool? No. Well, let's fill. And like I said, it doesn't bother me all that much. You see, there's slight error there, but what I'm going to do is come grab the thumb and grab my Milli pen. Now, I do, like I said, I do a lot of coloring with the Milli pen because it doesn't fluctuate. Oh. Whoop, hit the wrong button. That's fine. I recently had to tinker with my settings, and that got rid of some of the original shortcuts that Luke had on this rig. But you learn methods to make things work. And again, this is just keeping this very simple makes life easier on me. Or, I hit the wrong button, and that's okay too. But I think we're almost done with this guy. Well, I still have to do some shading, but we can fix that too. Let's give him a nice dark setup. And then I'll probably Bob Ross a bit. So let's see. Where is that? We covered Mike Jimmy's stuff, and back looks great so far. I'm glad. Phil always makes a mess for me. And I wonder if Joby ever got that drawing tablet to Rich. That will set his writing back a few weeks. Sorry, Nick. It's okay. I don't. I've been bugging Rich to finish something. As long as he finishes anything and kind of breaks that block in his mind, I'm not going to have that much issue with what goes on. He just has to kind of get over the hump that is stopping him from doing things and, make it happen. But that's the thing. One of the hardest things to do as a writer or a creative is to do it. To decide, okay, I'm doing it. That's just how it's going to be. And once that happens, you start producing things. You start moving. But it's a momentum thing. It's a mechanical thing. And you can't do it till you get actually making something happen. And for Rich, there's a lot of self-imposed limitations, but he's growing beyond them, and I'm incredibly proud of that. And if he works on his art and it distracts him, at least, he's working on things. He's moving forward. There we go. Let's see if it's going to do that. One thing about Clip Studio Paint is it has the smartest fill I've ever worked with. Now, the problem with Clip is that it switched to a rental license kind of thing, and I hate that. Now I'm going to come here. I'm on another layer. I'm making it a multiply. I'm going to my light gray. Go gray 30 on this. Is that gray 30? Can I please have a gray 30? That's gray 20. Is it saying gray 20 on both? That doesn't make sense. Anyway. Now, I filled it. Going to my erase tool. We're going to throw some highlights on this guy. First thing we do, we always erase the eye, get the eye to pop. Now I'm going to come in here, erase right along this edge. Is going to make this pop more, like so. He gives it a second layer. Keep the orb erased. The inside will give it a passive light. Because right now, this device is the primary light source. So you just start thinking about where the light would be hitting and erase the dark from it. That will let you shape things quite a bit. I said it doesn't need to be perfect, but oops, yeah, we'll worry about that too, because I'll probably do a highlight line around it. I need a bigger eraser. I need to not mess around. There we go. And even though you're just erasing the gray, it lets you have access to that sense of color. And everything is radiating out from the scepter, because the scepter is apparently the important part of this. It's what's making the image happen. It's what the character is seeking, is requiring. And then you can start to see where the light should go. Actually, I overlooked that last jump. I'll leave that like that then. Let me just do that shape. There we go. That's better. Now that's going to be lit up. That's fine. And there will be mistakes. Mistakes happen. But if you do the lighting right, it will make the image appear a little bit more 3D. So that's a good one. I hope that fits the Tiger Mage holding a there we go. Holding a triangular scepter. Not bad, coming out of nowhere. I'll sign off on it, and I'll do the rest of the setup off camera because you guys don't really care about that. Go here, but I will go all the way down to the base layer here. And we'll save as... Oh, let's see. Still gonna watch, though. I need to work on maps for tomorrow. So Alex watching quietly and working on maps. That's wonderful. I'm glad that that's happening. I'm just going to save this real quick. I think I saved it as illustration. Shoot. That's fine. I'll rename it in a bit, but for single layer JPEG. Tiger Mage with scepter. Okay. It's not great. Quick one. But it's a quick request. And you never know which characters are the ones you guys are going to love. And then we'll export the time lapse real quick. I might as well do all the work while I'm here. Okay, it's going to look good. And that doesn't need to be there. And then we'll work on the next picture. And we're just going to knock this out till, well, I'm done. Oh, you have a good one, Carl. Enjoy. I'm going to keep drawing. And everyone's saying bye to Carl. And Alex says, I turn Nitsu, oops, sorry, and a few other characters into NPCs. Everyone loves Ikas and Nitsu. Ikas is the local alchemist. Alchemists are awesome. Okay. And we're going to save this as Tiger Mage Art Time. And it didn't put it anywhere that it was supposed to, because it thought I was trying to comment on the wrong screen. Okay, here we go. Tiger Mage. We'll go here with scepter, and I'll lose the .png so it doesn't get cranky, and say art time lapse. It's a fun one. And we'll save it. Now, while that's going on, where it should be saved, cool. Let's make a new one. And I don't need that on my screen. File, save as, because I don't think that's a rename. And I'll say Tiger Mage with sucker. Use the .png. Save that. That way I can delete the one named illustration later and keep things set. Okay, next time. Whew, there we go. We're going to go new. standard setup here. I think I'm going to Bob Ross a bit. I think I'm going to Bob Ross. I think I'm feeling, again, I don't know. I'm feeling that odd mix of the season. So let's start with a nice kind of cornflower, and we're going to go to soft airbrush, big old soft airbrush. We're just giving ourselves a sky. Now later I'll come by and I'll turn these into thumbnails and add the NTF and figure out what day I have to save them as. But right now, we're just keeping simple. And Birdcage wants, okay, hold on. Yes, Bob Ross it. It's been a while since I've done that. And Birdcage wants a blind mouse holding a glowing saber wearing ninja clothes. Guys. Okay, well, first we'll Bob Ross a bit. Nice flat level. Flat layer. I don't want to lose too much. Bob it, Bob it, Bob it. And since there's actual Bob requests, we're going to come over here and we're just going to make sure that we've got a nice kind of angle set in. Now we're going to add another layer and we're going to go into the paintbrush. Where's my paintbrush tool? There we go. I'm going to use my thick oil paint tool, which is still loading up. That's fine. We're going to grab about a gray 50. Now my paint tool is right around, let's see, there we go, should be about 20. I like that size because it gives me a good control. And I just have to decide, where am I feeling a mountain? Where is the mountain? Oh, the mountain's right there? Okay. And we're just going to let the mountain kind of etch its way in. All the way down. Big mountain. We like that. Now, and I'm going to just cross this like that to give me, some lighting cues. And we'll cut across on the bottom a bit, because I'm pretty sure where I know some of my layering is going to hit with this big mountain. Because I think the mountain will need a body of water. Let's just cut this in. We're just using the mountain color for now. It doesn't matter. And we're going to cut in a lower one over here. Maybe an even lower one. Give them some company. Make it a range. Oh, that's nice. Very Grand Tetonic. Use the same little cut for now, just to delineate where the shadows are going to be. Because the sun is way off over here somewhere. We don't need that. We're not going to worry too much about the sun. This is not a sun-heavy one. And we've got the mountain, and I'm just going to pull some stripes down. Boom, boom, boom. This way. Boom, boom, boom. These are going to be lighter colored mountains than I've been doing. That's fine. And I'm going to come over here, and I've switched to a lighter, probably a 20%. Oh, that's 30%. 30% gray. And I'm pulling down. One trick with drawing and painting mountains is, remember, they are not stationary. Mountains move, and when you're using digital tools, you can use other means like this. Oil pastels will let you can do some of these tricks too. But because I'm using digital, I'm going to work in digital for now. I'm just going to pull these lines down. When we have a good bunch of them, we're going to go to our blend tools. Now we've got blur, we've got fingertip, we've got lots of options, but we have to remember, whatever we're doing, I think we want blend. Yep. We want to pull it down, and as we pull it down, hard to light pressure. That's going to grab and pull down, because gravity is always affecting mountains. They're trying to hold up a big pile of rocks, asymmetrically. All the rocks want to roll to the lowest point. All the water that hits them wants to roll to the lowest point. So you just smudge it down. Smudge it down. I don't know if it's a good thing. Sometimes I miss having to beat the heck out of my brush. But that's okay. Okay? And we just pull it on down. Now, as I grab from different points of the blur, I'm going to get different colors. And guess what? That's okay. Because the blur effect is going to help in the overall image. Because what we don't want are these hard lines. There's a place for them, but it won't look real natural for a while. So we're going to do the same thing, a little abrupt, more abrupt. Right here, just smooth it out. Because it's Bob Ross time. You know, it's painted landscape and show time. And we're starting to get a good background going. Got a feel. You can tell where the light is, where it's not. So let's go back to our thick oil paint. Let's see, that's good. And let's get our white. We're just going to cut from the top a little bit of that. My white's looking gray because the oil paint picks up a bit. It's a little too big. This is one thing you can't do with oil paint that I love with digital. You can use that undo button. We're going to pull that down to a 10. There we go. I'm going to sharp cut in some snow. Now there's going to be less snow on the front of the mountain than there is over here, because this is where the lee is. Because the wind's coming up. You can see how the wind has just shaped this mountain range. There's going to be bits of snow, but we can use that. We'll just hard cut that in places, right? Slash it down. Then we can come back to our blur tool, our blend tool, that is, blend. We're going to blend it in a little bit. Went a little too high on that, but see, that's going to let people know that, hey, there's some snow up there. Not a lot. That's okay. Doesn't need a lot. It blends in nice. And what you do is you just start playing with your layers and where you think it's going to be brighter. And you just cut in some bright like this. Give it this secondary shape here. Like so. Maybe there's a little bit going on over here. A little bit over here. It's a little higher on that one. That's fine. Round out the end over here. Doesn't matter. No stress. This is laid back art. And you know what? That could happen. That could happen. Because what we'll do is you want to blind ninja mouse. We can still, we're not done. This is just the background. Back to my blur tool. My blend, sorry. I'm going to pull the lighter up and then cut straight across. I want there to be a slight hard line. There we go. And that's just going to pull the light where we want it. Easy peasy. Don't ever be intimidated. There's no wrong answer in this. Now, that's a good mountain layer. Oh, I want to come over here and pull this down like so. Now, I'm going to add a layer because a lot of this is here for tracking purposes. But we're going to take a light orange, I think, and we're going to go to our paint. Where's my point paint? And we're going to go down to my pointillism brush. We're going to set it, let me see. Yeah, we're just going to, on this layer, this is a normal layer, just we squiggle in. We're just squiggling in this fiery fall mess. Just squiggle that in. Now we don't want to look too straight. You know, we want it to have variation. There we go. And that's fine because that's just layered in. Now we're going to grab a light brown, and I have not forgotten your mouse. Don't worry. Looks like I'm down to only the two of you, but that's okay. And I grabbed a slightly different color. That's okay. Get my brown back. And we're just going to kind of add some shading in the brown to the bottom. Okay. We've got that. Now let's grab some red and just add some peeps. Taller red trees in there. Those Japanese maples are really getting into it. Just gotta think the shape of a tree and let it kind of happen. If it overlaps, it's fine. Just do that. Now, see, my problem is that looks a little too orderly, so we'll just do that. Now we're getting that discrete feel. Next, I come over here. I'm going to add myself another. Well, no, I'll do it on this layer. Back to my thick oil paint. And I'm going to cut in this very nice, friendly, useful little brown. Brown. And we're going to get this not quite black. And we're just going to paint that across. And smooth that out like so. And then we decide. Now, a lot of times I'd be tempted to mirror this, but I think we're going to have a darker frosty water look. So I'm just going to go back, keep my lines parallel to the shore. That way the brush strokes add the sensation of water. Dark water. I like the blind ninja. You guys really want your blind ninja mouse, don't you? Okay, well, I was going to do the blind ninja mouse as a separate picture, but if you really want me to throw him in here, there we go. Now, go back to my white, take it way down to about an 8. I'm going to cut it along the edges. Just like this. And working my way across. Now, not quite cut along the edges. I'm going to have to do that more. But grab our blend tool again. And we're just going to blend it out. A bit more of a brown than I wanted. That's okay. Then you get a almost reflection of the mountain without truly having to do all the work of reflecting the mountain. I like that. That's a little too much. We're going to undo that last bit. I can come back here to my brush, go up to a 10, add that white again, hard white right here. Go back to my blend, shrink that down a bit so I have more control. And I'm just going to pull that out. See how it's just pulling out? Isn't that nice? Pull that out. And now you're starting to get that the illusion you want on the water. Pull this out so it stays flat though. There we go. Now we're going to add another layer because now we're going to pull all the way to our foreground. We're going to lay down some. That we've got our brush, the oil paint, back up to 20, darker color, right along roughly the area we left. And we're just going to paint this, squiggle paint this in. We'll just do this layer. Now, oops, my computer's loading to save. Sorry, give it a second. It's still waiting on that blind ninja mouse. Oh, God. You guys are persistent. I encourage your persistence, though. What's going on this layer? We're standing here. We're looking at the mountain. Life feels good. Oh, I see something that bothered me. Oh, a dead tree. There we go. I fixed that. That's fine. Anyway. Next, we're going to grab a... What do we want to do? I can cover that. This is really looking good, though, so I think I'm going to do something else. I'm going to come over here with some dark green. I need a very thin... I need to actually come to my pens. Well, my pens. Use my texture brush. I'm going to add manually, because I don't have a weak fan brush, a line of this grass just sticking up. And I know right now I'm using fine. There'll be more. I don't think this is going to be the home of the blind mouse, though. I don't, because if you want a blind ninja mouse with, well, we'll see. We'll see. It seems tragic to have this beautiful setting and then a blind ninja mouse. But, I'm going to grab a much lighter and throw some shoots of that in there. Like so. And I'm going to come to the paintbrush. I'm going to go back to our buddy, the pointillism brush, because I really do love the pointillism brush. Come here. We're going to grab some of the yellow. And we're just going to put a little bit of that. Jiggle through the spots. Like so. That's really not bad. This isn't the kind of image that's going to suit your mouse. I have not forgotten your mouse. But I'm going to do something cooler for your mouse because the mouse is being drawn in the background of my mind while I'm doing this. There's somebody else who lives here, and I know who needs to be here anyway. He hasn't been around in a while, but that's not the right color. He has to stand out. Take this lighter color, that there, just like that. Get the orange for his coat. Because the lamplighter hasn't been out to play in a long time. And if he doesn't get to walk, people start thinking that I'm not following his journeys. And I'm not going to have the lamplighter fan base coming after me. So I'm just going to do this. Lamp. And no, I thought I'd forgotten his dog. So, the yellow for his lamp, even though it's not really nighttime. He's doing his thing. Okay. I'll sign off on this, and then I will do your mouse. Because he just doesn't live here. I looked in my head, and he did not live here. All right. And if anyone asks, part of that is because my wife loves the lamplighter pictures. And if I don't let him wander around once in a while, I'll catch all manner of heck. So, as the Tetons and the lamp lighter. Do that. And once that saves, which will take a second. And don't worry, your blind ninja mouse is going to get a full workout because it's too good an idea. And we'll put this, where's that file? Export single layer PNG. I have to do it this way, one, or I'll forget. And two, so that you guys get to see the whole process. I want you guys to see the process. I will later add the text, but I have to check the dates and do some twinkiness. And that's always a little time consuming. So, there's that. Now we'll export the time lapse. And then I promise the next thing I draw will be your blind mouse. What's it? Blind ninja mouse holding a glowing sword. Oh, is that male or female? Is the blind mouse a man or a woman? That was probably something I should ask. I'll give you guys a chance to respond while I set this up. Okay. Oh, doesn't look like people are answering, so blind. My blue. What pen am I running? Let's run 0. Two. I don't want to tell there. Blind Ninja Mouse. With the glowing sword. Thanks, you guys asking me. I bundled that. My hand got twitchy. Let's start that over. Got me overthinking. No. Let's go in there. Let's go there. Let's go there. Up there. Over script. All right. So for the last image, we've got a blind ninja mouse. I'm going a little more realistic, so it went red wall instead of, say, whoa, I went too close. There we go. Let's do that. And let's add a layer. Go black line, and we're just going into it. He's going to have long, pointy snout. Trim the nose there. Whiskers. Those whiskers are cute. Be able to see his eyebrows because he can't express with his eyes. So I'm going to have to play this hair just a bit. Let's just mask him. Which, okay, yeah, that might look better actually. Let's just do that. Let's just use a full mask. Oh, I like that. That fixes a lot of the design problems I was having. So I was having some proportion problems. Oh, there we go. Just do this. We'll bring this back as part of the I have to change his little Put that there. We'll strap across there. We'll strap across there. Hit the wrong line, so I got quiet for a moment there, but well, because if I do that, that's going to make a nasty little tangent. I don't like the tangent. So we have to be very, very careful on how we're going to do the strap on the arm. That's okay. There, his board is already drawn. Just dot. Set that sword up. Now, had to get quiet because I was really kind of focusing in there. I hope the people who requested this are still here because this is not. He's got his ears cupped that way. Your everyday image, but I know at least a few people are going to dig on it. Now we'll just do this. We'll just keep the bumpiness of the tree. I suppose I could have used this over the other one, but nope. Put that back. There we go. That works. Bumping a lot of controls, sorry. A couple of my defaults changed, and I have to read the book up on how to reset them again. I am terrible about reading instructions. But we're going to just do this like so. And I'm keeping deliberately loose because it keeps the tree looking more interesting. Now it looks like I may have lost my viewers, but somebody is watching, so I thank you. We're almost done. Do the blind mouse. Just have to wait, figure out how I want this leaf to look, which I really am not liking, but yeah, I hate that leaf. I hate that leaf. So I'm going to just get rid of it. Give me a big old eraser. This leaf is not leafing right. Okay, we're going to need a picture real quick so I can reference the Japanese maple. So I want Japanese maple leaf. There we go. Okay, I see what's wrong. There we go. Of course, every system I use has to be a form, right? There we go. And I will need my pen, serum. What we do is we go here, here. Here. It's not perfect, but at least I have an idea of what I'm doing. And I'd rather have it, I like to take a glance, but not dedicate myself to it. I know what's going on now. It'll keep it rough but interesting. Let's hide the blues. There we go. That'll do. I'm going to lengthen this down just a bit so that there's overlap. I'll get my eraser up to a much more controllable size. Just do this. Back to my pen. We're going to go here, like so. Some rings. I'm going to throw the whole image. Good. Get the mark. Now, we are almost done with our Japanese. Our blind ninja. Yes, I know he has to be holding a glowing sword. But that will be part of our light source, which will make this look really cool. So we have a leaf sticking down. And I'm going to put one, just the start one up here. Once it saves, there we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to give the spirit of it. And we'll do a little bit of rumple here, and a little bit of rumple here. Now, let's close this up. And we will add a layer. Make it blend mode multiply so I don't have trouble. Grab light red, go in the back, grab my fill tool. Just keep things simple. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Nice. Now we've got, it's not perfect. I have to clean it up a bit, but it's a lot speedier. It's orange. No, that is not the color I want. That is the. Now then we'll hit the light blue. Just speed filling. And again, I'm going to have to clean up. We don't worry about that. We do not worry about that at all, because now I come. I got this much brighter red. I go, mark's probably a gray base with brown, so we'll just do this for now. Spoiled. Yeah, I'm gonna have to color that probably manually. That's fine. Well, that gives just about the right experience I want. Go here, and we can go here. We're going to our good buddy the millman. Make him a little gray mouse. That just makes sense. What we're going to do, we'll just completely gray the mouse and I'll play with the colors later. Oh, I see where it's from. That. That. This. So. Once we get the mouse all grayed in, I'll play with his colors actually. But he needs to be clarified for me a bit. There we go. Let's shrink this down again to make it more manageable. Now, we're almost grayed in. I need to fix one thing real quick because I see it. There. Perfect. Almost. We'll go here. Do that. Do a little bit of edge cleanup. Not bad. Alrighty. Now, I want to change the colors on the individual stuff. The first thing that has to go is that sword has to shine. And then we need gold for the fittings. Not black, but close for his key kind of robe ninja thing. A bit of sleeve on this side. Let's just block all that out, make it easier to do again. We need a light brown to go here for the sword, light brown for the sheath, and probably for the belt work. A nearly white for the bandaging on the left arm, and do you want white for his mask? Or nearly white? Yes. I think that works very well for now. Alrighty. Next, we're going to add the layer blend mode multiply. We're going to go to 30. Actually, yeah, let's go gray 40. I want to darken this so I have lots of light to play with, and the big fill, which fills the whole layer. Don't freak, because now we hit our eraser and we start playing with the light. Playing with the light is always a good thing. You want a sword that glows. Let's make the sword glow. Very obviously, the sword is glowing, which is a surprisingly silly thing. Oh, no. What happened there? There we go. Anyway. Put a slight wall in the sheath for a sword to do, but if it's a mouse, we'll just light it from the glowing sword. Do this. I need a large eraser. Right. So, just doing stuff. Around it, basically. I'll combine, I'll add a color effect later. But do this. Need a great big eraser because I don't need. Yeah, let's just clear this whole area out. Like so. And yeah, I want a little bit of the light to naturally come through the trees. It's not the only light in the area. There we go. I think we have alrighty. We are almost done. And there we go. I'm going to clean up this leaf a bit. And I think I'm going to add one more layer. Multiply. I think I'm going to just do a classic shade layer real quick. Give me a little more freedom. Work it. Gray 30. Set that down to about 20. That way I can darken things a bit more. Yes. Let's get a little cell shady in here. The weakliness is welcome. It keeps it interesting. darkness playing around in here as well to add more depth to the image. Need a bigger eraser. For this, we'll just do this like so. And come back here, just fine work with the shading because it's going to make everything that it doesn't like more apparent. Molding and shaping it. Really molded. There we go. I think Blind Mouse Ninja is getting close to complete. We'll just tweak with it a little. I don't know why you guys are so interested in making me do anthro art, but I'm doing anthro art for you guys because my fans are asking for it. Should be bigger over here. Wow. Just put one like this for texture sake. Come over here with my eraser because that is offline. Alrighty. I think that looks good. Let me come down here. I'm going to sign off on it. And this will be the last one of the day. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Nope, I see a mistake. Come on. Nope, wrong way. Nope. There it is. Better. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, it probably does need a little bit of that, doesn't it? Give it a second. Keep things popping a bit. So that's line weight. Thought it wasn't quite done. I thought I was done. No, there's still line weight to play with. But come here. Now, I think that's better. So I'll just find a calm place over here to sign. And file. Save as. Blind Mouse Ninja. Typoed. With glowing sword. Now that that's done, guys, I'm going to do this. I'm going to call it a day because I have a lot to do yet. So we will export this as a ping. Okay. And okay. Then export time lapse. This will take a minute, but gives folks a chance to see if we're still going on. These 3-hour streams are quite a thing, but okay. Let that do its little processy bit. I am out of water. I'm out of chat. My whole chat has left me. But these will be made into your next week's Nevermind the Furthermore things. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We're going to go here. Didn't run any commercials or run nearly enough commercials. So what I'm going to do is stop my music. That's all set up. I hope you, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to stop the screen. Maybe. There we go. Bring me right back at you. Hi, guys. And I'm going to come over here, and I am going to close that because I don't need that open, dragging on my computer anymore. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Nevermind the Furthermore with the Art Time with Nick edition. There may be more Art Time with Nick in the very near future. Not every week will have that kind of setting, but it does happen. Big thanks to everybody who came out. I'm going to run a commercial in case anybody still wants to chat. Please be sure to hit the likes. And we will then wrap this day up. Let's see, who needs a commercial?
From author Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho! Santastein, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
And folks, please keep writing, keep creating, keep making what you love. Because frankly, I love you guys, and you should too. There's one other ad I need to run for a friend, and then I will sign off. Well, guys, thanks for having a great show, great day, great show. Please hit like, check on this when you see it. Please check out my books. You can get them on Amazon. Just look up Nicholas Tockert, books by Nicholas Tockert. You'll get there. Or up about Nicholas Tockert on indiecd.org. I'll be back Friday for another episode of Nevermind the Furthermore. So, guys, keep drawing, keep creating, keep making what you love. Because as long as you do, You can edit it, you can improve it, but you can't improve a blank. You can't edit a blank page. See you soon. Toodles, guys.